Welcome to this walkthrough of Magnolia 5.4.8, which is the latest Magnolia maintenance release. This release has 64 issues, and I will show you them, a few for developers and a few for authors as usual. So let's start with a developer change. This is in the light development stream, and in this release you'll be able to do site prototypes in YAML. So we take the YAML capabilities further. If you remember, a prototype is like a master page template for a site. Whatever you define in the prototype applies to all page templates. So it's an efficient way of working. You only define changes once and it applies everywhere. For example, if you need an area in every page template, define it in the prototype and it's available on every page. And the way you do a template prototype in YAML is you still need JCR configuration in your site definition, but it's very short. What you do is you delete the prototype node that you used to have in JCR and instead add this class that allows you to read the prototype from YAML instead. And with the usual template ID notation, you point to the location of your prototype. Typically it's a resource file. So let's have a look at the actual YAML file. Here I have Magnolia open. I go to the resource files app in the web dev group. And for the travel demo, the prototype is in the templates folder. Here it is, prototype.yaml file. And let's look at the file. And if this looks like a page template definition to you, then good, because that's what it is basically. A prototype is a template definition. It's the same object underneath. What's special about a YAML prototype is this class which you need to add at the top. We say this is a special type of template definition so that authors wouldn't pick it up from the template definition or template menu when they add templates to pages. So this class makes sure that it doesn't show up for authors as a regular page template. But other than that, in this YAML file, you can use the same conventions that you would use in a page definition. Next up, let's go to a few user experience improvements. We've added the ability to filter values in select fields. This means if when you have a long drop-down that has many values, such as a list of countries, you just need to type part of it and it starts filtering the list. It's a typical web functionality. This list of countries that we have here in Magnolia, let's go to the Pages app and try to choose an audience for a variant, is rather short. I have a variant selected there, choose audience, pick a trait, and let's pick the country trait so we can see an example of a field that supports this kind of functionality. This one only has 10 countries, so if I start typing countries that start with an S, it keeps filtering. How many countries are there in the world?
300.
Yeah, 196. Very good. So if you have a longer list, this really helps. And the way you configure this is you add 3 properties under your field definition. The mode with which you want to filter, here we are using starts with, so whatever characters are in the beginning of the string. You can also use contains. The page length attribute means how long is a single page until you need to page to the next section of the list. And text input allowed means it just turns this select field to something where you can type. Let's try the contains instead. So I'm going to change the configuration a little bit for this field. Go to the configuration app. And here I have my field definition. Further down. I'll change the filtering mode starts with to contains. And let's look at the same list. Back to the Pages app. We open the same dialog, choose audience. Let's pick the same country trait and just show that it works with whatever is contained. So countries that contain king, United Kingdom, or emir, United Arab Emirates, and so on. So there's an improvement for authors to help manage long lists. Next up, for administrators, we've improved the handling of usernames. In the security app, if you have a user who has a special character called apostrophe in their name, previously you were not able to add apostrophes, but these are pretty common characters in Scottish and Irish last names. So you might have a name like Andrew O'Sullivan with the apostrophe after the O. Now you can use that character as a valid username, A-O apostrophe Sullivan, for example. Let me show you here. So we're talking about this particular field username. That would now be a valid username, starting with this release. Finally, a change that helps authors delete and restore items. You can now restore deleted items, including their children, if you want. There's an optional switch, a property you add to the command called includes children, including children. And then, for example, if you're in the Assets app and you've deleted a whole folder of assets, it will restore the folder and its descendants. This was a very quick walkthrough of the release. Thanks to the PD team for pulling this release together and fixing the issues. If you have questions, let's take them now.